Well, before we head to the Results Operations Centre, let's go back once again to Nkandla this morning, where President Jacob Zuma is casting his vote. It is his hometown.
Staying at his homestead in Nkandla, just down the road as well. 10 o'clock is the time we were expecting, and almost bang on time, President Zuma has arrived to be making his vote. And what I understand is a small school just down the road from where his homestead is. It looks like it's about 2 Ks, almost within walking distance, but judging by his security, Yveka, I doubt very much the president has taken a stroll down to go and cast his vote. Plenty of security, but it looks like the president, as expected, meeting some of the locals and I'm sure some of the people who have come out to cast their vote, and perhaps even waited around knowing that the president was going to come down to cast his vote.
Not at the back, Chief. Not at the back.
Don't worry.
Just in case you were wondering how the people of Nkandla actually feel about President Jacob Zuma, well, as you can see, what a welcome for him, considering the controversy surrounding the president and his Nkandla homestead. While most of the rest of the country might have been upset, the people on his doorstep certainly aren't. Well, some of them aren't.
That's right as well. But bearing in mind as well, Yveka, we have had a chance to speak to some of the residents of Nkandla over the last while in the build-up to the elections, and not all of them are necessarily as happy with the president as what perhaps we're seeing on camera at the moment. What I think is now well-known, Gogo from Nkandla, went on record to a number of media houses saying that Zuma has done nothing to help us. I think she was a 92-year-old, Nora Nkandla. She obviously cast her special vote, and while the media were there to speak to her, I think as all Gogos are, she was certainly not holding back on how she felt the president has not done much for her in the area. But the IFP, of course, is the big competition from where President Zuma lives up in Nkandla, and no doubts the ANC going to do everything that they can to try and remain in control or to take the municipality back from the IFP. It looks like, Yveka, President Zuma is standing in the queue.
Oh, why? I was just going to ask, is he waiting his turn?
No,
or are they sort of making sure that everything's okay for him to go? There he is with one of his wives. Is it Tobeka Madipa?
I'm waiting for her to turn around. I'm not too sure. I do notice the eThekwini municipality worker jacket just in front of President Jacob Zuma as well. So there's a gentleman who's standing in the queue with Jacob Zuma.
He is waiting in the queue then.
He is standing in the queue. I don't think the president's moving. So those voters who arrived to cast their vote, perhaps a surprise for a few of them, now getting a chance to rub shoulders with not just President Zuma, of course, his wife and all of his security, which no doubt comes through. We're not getting a sense, unfortunately, just how long this queue is. I know Dasen Thathiah, our reporter, is up in that area. He has been putting videos and photos up on Twitter at eNCA. I'm sure we'll hear from him soon, but plenty of excitement as President Zuma waits in queue.
Well, he's been standing still for quite a while now, so it seems like he does have quite a wait. We can't actually see how far away he is from the entrance. We'll try and get a sense of that, but I think we'll stay with this just for now. There's his green bar-coded ID. Hasn't got his smart card yet,
right.
It seems.
But we did notice yesterday the deputy president had his new smart. That's right. He was showing it off after he cast his vote yesterday as well. President Zuma hasn't quite made his way through to go get the smart ID. There is his bar-coded ID. So no special treatment. I don't think it matters who you are as a South African citizen. He is the first citizen, of course. You've got to stand in the queue, and you also have to bring your bar-coded ID book as well. I think he could be quite close. Those standing in front of the president beginning to get their ID books out as well. So the IFP going to be trying very hard to ensure that they remain in control of what is happening. But Yuveka, certainly the issue has been for many of the political parties the kind of money that has been spent on Nkandla. And it's the ANC supporters, whether those who are disgruntled, and even some within the ANC that have said that issue on its own, it's merely a homestead, but it could be causing issues.
And that, Gareth, is what observers are saying, is that this election is not just about who fills in those potholes in your area. This election actually will show the cracks that are showing up in the ANC, show them up even more. Possibly intra and inter-party politics is what we're looking at. Is it a referendum on the ANC? And is it a show of what's to come in 2019? It's not just about your ward. It's not just about your neighborhood. It's about bigger issues as well. That's what we'll see. Well, there's President Jacob Zuma. I think he is close, because there we see IEC officials verifying the IDs. He's going through the process. So he's probably very close to the entrance. He's been talking to people in the queue, and he's got his arms around a young lady there. Do we know who she is? Is that his daughter? We don't get to see much.
He's also coming through to vote as well. So I think, like many South African families, not just arriving one by one, but making it something of a family day. Those are old enough to vote. Let's not get too close to the ID book. I
was just going to say, are we allowed to see what's in that
what's cancelled?
I don't know what cancelled means.
I wonder what cancelled was.
What does
There's a question for you.
Well, the IEC official will know whether he goes through or not, if that ID is actually valid.
So President Zuma, of course, would have gone through the entire process. He would have had to go and register as well. His daughter is through. Here's the president getting his ID book looked at just before making his mark.
We'll see if he gets turned away.
Let's hope not. I'm quite certain that is not going to be the case. I'm sure we're going to be quite cautious not to get too close.
Did you see that picture? Did you see the picture?
That was a great picture of President Zuma.
Then and now.
Most people, I think, are quite embarrassed.
But
that's definitely him, he says.
Yeah.
That's me.
Can you imagine how nervous that IEC official must be at this point?
You can see now. Okay.
The IEC official pretty certain that's President Jacob Zuma.
Well, she had to ask twice.
Who's all right, just making sure, just double checking it is the president himself. So now that the president has had his ID book checked, it looks like, Yuveka, there aren't many queues. There were some people in front of President Zuma. No doubts, of course, the IEC officials will have made some plans to get the president through relatively quickly, if nothing else, for the cameras.
Well, we have limitations on how far we can take you into that polling station. So just President Jacob Zuma, if you're wondering what was happening there, if you've just joined us on your election channel, President Jacob Zuma voting there in his hometown of Nkandla.